Well, it's time for the moment of truth. The richest game in English football and a huge championship playoff final. Tony Mowbray and Ipswich stand between Luton Town and Premier League football. We've built a decent squad. We've got some great players coming in the summer. But what team will they be joining? A despondent championship one or a jubilant Premier League side? Yes, hello and welcome along to a brand new week from this FM06 Let's Retro Save with Luton Town. It is part 18 and we begin the week in just about the biggest fashion possible. The first championship playoff final back at the new Wembley Stadium, as on the 20th of May 2007, it is Ipswich Town versus Luton Town for a place in the Premier League. Will we be able to deliver on the big occasion, or will it all go wrong when it matters most? If you're looking forward to finding out, chuck a thumbs up on it. It will probably be a slightly quicker episode than usual, but as I'm sure you can imagine, it is unlikely to have any less drama. There is not a lot we've got to do in the build up to this. We're just going to take a little look at the Ipswich squad, have a look at the position we're in, where I think we've actually got a full complement to choose from for the very first time, and then we've got to go and see what happens. If we have a look at Ipswich Town as a team, they have got a couple of key injuries. Future Luton player Sam Parkin has picked up a knock and is out a while. Not a bad thing because he scored 10 goals mainly off the bench this year. Danny Russell's got a knock. He caused chaos against us before with his pace. Whether or not he'll be involved from the start, I don't know. Owen Garvin in centre midfield, one of the best young players in FM06 at the championship level. Fortunately, he is out for a while, but they've still got some of the big names up top. Dean Bowditch is a superstar in this year's FM. He scored 20 goals in 28 starts, and I am fearful of what he's going to do to Coyne, to Heikkinen, to O'Brien, to Basagno, whoever starts back there. He's just too good. At the back, we have got the chance to catch them out with pace, but they've got a fully fit complement back there. Just Richard Naylor missing out again, who would have been up front alongside Dean Bowditch. So going forward, they're lacking a little bit. Going backwards, they're lacking nothing, and Dean Bowditch is still the best player on the pitch. So there's a lot that could go wrong here. If we have a look at the championship table, it's probably justice done that it's third v fourth. If we have a look at the table in terms of points, 2 points separated us over the season. We scored 5 less, but we conceded 4 less. We actually had the best defence in the league after the top two, and even level with Crystal Palace. A little bit of a strange one when you consider some of our collapses. But are we going to be able to deliver when it matters most at Wembley? Let's go and find out the answer. I don't want to wait any longer. What did the media say? Who did they have as favourites? Ipswich Town, of course they did. 8-game unbeaten run for us. Ipswich finished pretty strongly themselves. This is, I think, the team I'm going to go for today. I have kept Dean Morgan in ahead of Warren Feeney because Feeney's been abysmal for a while. I have brought Andy O'Brien back in at centre-half. I'm trusting experience. These are the games we signed him for. Nick Basagno is on the bench if we need him, as is Marcus Heikkinen, as is Keith Keane. Brunt and Feeney are there as well. But our 11 in full for Wembley Stadium and the Championship playoff final is Lee Grant, the superstar of the semis. Man of the match, will he deliver again? Kevin Foley and Joe Keenan, the fullbacks, with O'Brien alongside the skipper Chris Coyne. Sean Newton on the right wing, position we've really got to look at next year. He's done okay, he's been solid, but Carlos Edwards has been abysmal and Newton hasn't been brilliant, still the weakest in the 11. On the left-hand side, it's Baraji with Hughes alongside Nichols in the middle. And then a gamble is Dean Morgan, just his 10th start of the season in all competitions, up front alongside the big man. Please stay fit, please stay in form. You might not be able to run it, but you are a superstar. Steve Howard, destiny awaits. Can he win the game for us and take us to the Premier League? This is the moment then, and Ipswich have gone for a very mixed approach, it must be said. Defensively, not much change, we predicted that. Bowditch is through the middle up front. You've got the sort of guile of Darren Curry on one side with not much pace. Actually went to Luton in the summer of '07 in real life. On the other side, they've gone for youth and pace in Jamie Stevens, who was a brilliant young player in this game. Again, really delivering, but not played much this season. In midfield, the mix again, young Ian Westlake, experienced Kevin Horlock, and Jack Cork getting a rare outing in front of them. He looks pretty good at 17. Let's go and get into it though. You know what we're going to do. It's just whether we're going to be good enough on the big pitch and the hallowed turf of the National Stadium. As Bowditch loses out to O'Brien in the first challenge of the game, Steve Howard goes back to Hughes and now Sean Newton, who looks down the right for Foley, finds Hughes who's in one-on-one. Richard Hughes into the box. And it's one of the players we signed last year after just 1 minute. I don't remember us scoring this early all season. Richard Hughes makes it 1-0 to Luton. Kevin Foley flies forward to set it up. What a start that is as Foley throws in again. And Richard Hughes is out on the right. Newton's getting into the box. It falls for Nichols. Into Howard. Deflects away. And now they can break with Peters and Bowditch, which is my biggest fear today. The pace the two of them have is frightening. But Foley gets there. And Richard Hughes, we signed him last summer. The scouts, the coaches, they all said he was rubbish. I wasn't having it. He's been brilliant as Morgan crosses for Steve Howard. And now the other gamble's paid off because Dean Morgan has delivered a wonderful cross. And Howard's put us 2 up in 6 minutes. Where has this come from? It's a dream start, and I'm trying not to get excited because I've seen us go wrong from here before. But how can you not? 6 minutes of the playoff final. It's Luton 2, Ipswich 0, and this is beyond our wildest dreams. But unless we get a third and possibly a fourth, I'm not going to get excited, though Foley's won it back for Newton. Aimed long towards Howard, who looked offside, but he's lost it anyway. Bowditch to Curry, they've switched sides. Keenan does so well. Howard's played on by the left back, but the keeper, Price, will get there first. Another future Luton player. There's Chris Coyne, it gets on the end of the long ball, and will hopefully just hoof it clear, which he does to Keenan. Has support from Baraji and Howard. Baraji finds him. Howard just holding it up on the left wing, not where we usually see him. Inside to Keenan. Baraji underlapping. Into the box he goes. Morgan's with him. He goes alone. Probably the wrong decision. Unfortunately, out for a goal kick. The changing of the sun is causing havoc with my face today, so apologies for the multicolours there. But I won't be worrying if we win this final, though Dean Bowditch has just had a great effort on goal. But as has so often been the case, Lee Grant saves the day, and Dean Morgan can do the chasing. All the way back to the goalkeeper, and O'Brien's won the header, delivering on the big stage. Now, the big question is, if we can win this game, should I even talk about that yet? Let's not. Darren Curry into Bowditch, and I've been immediately punished as Lee Grant is forced into another brilliant save. Newton does well on the second ball, though, and he wins the throw-in. Superb experience play. What I was going to talk about is what we were going to do for next season if we did go up, because I've got a pretty drastic tactical change planned. The 4-4-2 when we played the top sides has been woeful. We'll worry about that after because Steve Howard is in again. He's beaten a defender. Steve Howard! It's dreamland! But it's going to be disallowed, I think. Oh, why have you waited so long to give offside? It was a brilliant run and finish. But I did wonder how he'd got ahead of the defender. He's not the quickest, bless him. And it stays 2-0. Caldwell's got the free kick from it. And Bowditch is in behind again. We've really struggled with that. Lee Grant, though, judges it perfectly. I thought immediately he'd just flown out and left the goal free. Lee Grant will look towards you-know-who. Steve Howard is up, but can he win it? He does. Kevin Nichols on the second ball. Back to Howard. Morgan's with him. Howard can't make it. But oh my God, what a day to do that. Steve Howard has scored a lot of goals for me, but he has not bent one in the top corner from 30 yards before. That is astonishing. He looked like he'd been beaten for pace. He knew he couldn't take him on. I'm watching that one again. You've got to forgive me. Look at this finish from Steve Howard. Yes, it's him and Nichols combining again. It's the usual duo. Howard knocks it down. It's back to him here. Looks like he's going to be caught. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. This is when you wish you had 3D to watch it, wasn't it? What a performance it's been so far. 25 minutes gone, it's 3-0. But of course, it can't just be a perfect day. Sean Newton, the experienced man, off injured. Keith Keane, the only sub available there today. No Edwards on the bench due to Heikkinen being there. So Keith Keane is on the right of midfield. Another academy product getting 60 minutes in the final. And two of them playing in front of each other on the right-hand side. Kevin Foley has really delivered today. I have very carefully and cleverly offered lots of new contracts before this final in the hope that it would do the job in reducing the wage demands. All I can say is I'm pleased. I don't want to say thrilled. I don't want to get them arrogant. But this display, this has been beyond my wildest dreams. Ipswich won their semi-final 6-0 on aggregate. They were only 2 points behind us in the table. And this has just been almost the perfect day. It's an incredible performance. It's a wonderful effort. We've got Joe Keenan on a yellow card, which we might have to be careful of. And we've got an Ipswich corner, which we've got to deal with. Caldwell's up. Howard gets something on it. And Horlock's rebound goes over. But it's just been an incredibly polished display. And I think we might be getting there. 20 minutes to go. We're still 3 up as Keane gets the ball back to Foley. Down the right-hand side. Keith Keane's there again. Morgan's in the middle. He's got the ball. It's a great save. Caldwell behind for a corner. I do want to get Feeney on because while he's finished the season woefully, he's been such a big part of our success. And he might not get a lot of football in the Premier League. So I do want him to get some minutes here. We're going to make the second sub now. Dean Morgan has been excellent. I don't want to take him off. But he's the least fit player left on the pitch. It's been a brilliant display. Let's get Warren Feeney on for this one. 20 minutes to go. Fresh legs and pace up front. I'm sure not what Ipswich wants to see either. And now, with just under 10 remaining, we've got to make our decision. It's 5 to go. I know Baraji's knackered. I know Keenan's on a yellow. But I'm not going to do either of those. I'm going to bring Basagno on for Richard Hughes. Let him get experience in the biggest game. Because this is an incredible moment. It is 3-0. Richard Hughes as well deserves a shout out. What a start to the game that was. The only thing I'm asking now is can we keep the clean sheet? Because that would be the icing on the cake. Nichols forces it back to the keeper. Clearance is long, but Baraji should get there. Aims it long. Feeney will chase, but Price is there first. Out to his fullback. And now Ipswich can mount one last attack. Something for the fans to cheer, I guess. Keenan will go up against Peters and wins it. Brilliant performance. Baraji to Nichols. Heavy touch, not good enough. But he can be forgiven after the last 90 minutes. Dean Bodic gets in. Might cost us. And now Chris Coyne's given the penalty. You should have just let him have the shot, Chris. Because you're probably going to get sent off now and miss the start of the Premier League season. Because he's about to pull the trigger. You can't complain. Chris Coyne, it's a yellow. You lucky boy. I thought you were a goner. Will the clean sheet go? Or can Lee Grant just edge up and ramp up what he did in the semi-final? Horlock v Grant. Can he deliver? No, he can't. It's 3-1. Ipswich do get their consolation. But I'm already having a party. So I'm not going to worry about that one. Because with 2 minutes of stoppage time gone, Luton Town are heading to the Premier League. And this is the most incredible of occasions. Luton Town, they haven't won the Championship, but they've won the Championship playoff final. O'Brien, magnificent. What a decision to bring him back in. Steve Howard always is. And Kevin Foley, where did that come from? Absolute magic. Luton Town are a Premier League side. And it's a youth player who gets the Man of the Match award in the final. 3-1 to Luton Town. Let's get through to the messages. There is the one we wanted. Luton have won promotion to the Premier Division. We've led them to an unexpected one. And the board are delighted. Mick Harford surprised. A Hatter's favourite saying, what a job we've done. Absolutely love that. Luton need to face higher challenge. Congratulations on securing promotion to the Premier League. Do you think your current squad is capable? They've done the club proud, but we will certainly need to start building for next season now. I'm going to say that, yeah. I'm not going to talk about replacing everyone. We know we're doing that already. We've got Premier League experience coming in with Henrik Pedersen as an example. Sean Maloney's coming down from Scotland. And Sean Newton is out for 2 months. Doesn't matter so much based on my planned tactical change, but might stop us getting him off the books, which I had intended to do. Kevin Foley puts in a classy performance. One of many we'd offered a new deal to, but he is one of the few who is ready for the Premier League. Sean Newton will say it's a blow to lose him, but we've got cover. Weymouth promoted to League 2 as well, and player contract changes due to promotion. Let me just take you through to here, though. You can see some of the contractual offers we've gone for. Howard's got 1 year to go. Grant, Edwards, Brunt, just trying to extend them to either get the value out of it or to make sure that we've got a squad for next year. But the one thing I want to talk about before we go is tactics. We've been playing 4-4-2. It's worked a treat, and we'll keep playing it as a sort of backup tactic. But we've got to try a new approach for the Premier League, and we've got to try and get the best out of our best players. Now, you've seen over the last year or so, we've brought in Nick Basagno, who's a brilliant holding midfielder. We've also got the same in Richard Hughes. We've also got the same joining in Johan Giroud and in Ungalula from Manchester United. We don't want to lose the fact that we've got 2 brilliant strikers. And we don't want to lose people like Keith King, Kevin Foley, who have offered so much, Baraji out wide. But there are people who haven't delivered. We've struggled on the right with whether it be Edwards or with Newton. On the left, Chris Brunt's not been brilliant. He's wanted. we'll probably try and get some money for him. And we're going to have to be ruthless at Premier League level. So I think the plan is that we're going to try and play a 3-5-2 with either a holding midfielder or a number 10, depending on what Sean Maloney can offer. And then with 2 wing-backs as well. We might even change it to be a flat 3-5-2 with full-backs or with wingers, depending on the game. But I feel like that is the best way to take advantage of what is very strong central areas and not many wide players who are delivering performances. Whether or not it will work out, I don't know. I'm hoping that in keeping 2 up front, Howard can still win some flick-ons. Feeney, Morgan, Maloney, whoever can get on the end of them. But we're not going to get a massive budget. We're not going to be able to compete with some of the top Premier League sides. And with the likes of Henrik Pedersen coming in, Sean Maloney joining too, I don't want to leave ourselves with 1 player up front when we've got 6 strikers to choose from. We know he's going to be quality for us. We know Maloney's going to offer something. So we've just got to try and get the best out of all of them. All the players coming in are central ones. So let's try and focus on the centre of the pitch. Let's just skip through one more day, see if we do get any transfer budget news. The last I saw, it was only about 500 grand. And that was not going to be a good one for us. Let's skip ahead one more day and just see if anything changes. Well, we've gone through 2 days. A couple of players have signed new deals, which is great. Steve Howard has not, which is a mighty concern. He's now improved his demands beyond what we can actually offer. So we might have to be a little bit more careful with him. But one of the big things we're going to see now from Luton is player values increasing massively. You can see already a few of them in that first team starting to shoot up. Might help us out big time in the future. Dean Morgan, don't forget, we offered the new deal to. He's got a 1.5 release clause, so I think we might be saying goodbye to him as well. But that's all to worry about in the future. We are going to the Premier League with Luton Town. The finances at the moment give us a budget of £460,000, and we're over a wage bill already. If it stays as it's been set at the moment, we are in big, big trouble. If you want to stay up to date and see if it changes, whether we can eke any more money out of the club or whether we can just sell a few that will allow us to increase the bills, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of that final. Where on earth did that performance come from? One for the ages. What a first half and what a day. We celebrate promotion against all of the odds. And I do worry it might be a little bit too soon. But for now, we'll just enjoy the day. If you want to stay up to date and see what happens in a summer transfer window and in our debut Premier League campaign, which I'll make sure to show plenty of, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Do you think my tactical suggestions are right, or should I be sticking with a 4-4-2? Get your thoughts on that in the comment section as well. And I'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon for a Premier League transfer special. And I'm imagining if we get our way, it might be a pretty busy one. I'll see you there as we go and get the party started.